Welcome back, everybody, to another video of Yamkela Manya Speaks Football. Hope everyone had a lovely day. Yeah, guys, I come bearing good news and bad news. We are Mamelodi Sundowns, therefore, as a big institution like ours, you better be sure there will be bad news. It comes. I think it comes with a pedigree. The bigger they say, the more the money, the more the responsibilities. So it is exactly as Mamelodi Sundowns. The more the money, the more the responsibilities. Because look, we want to win everything. We want to win everything. We might call MTN 8 as a preseason cup, but I promise you, the board, the fans, they do want to win it. Even I want to win the MTN 8. Even though sometimes I feel like it's the best competition for us to play the fringe players, as I stated at the beginning of the season. If you go and watch my first videos of this season, I stated categorically that let's play these young boys. Let's play these boys that are not going to be in the starting 11 when it comes to the Champions League, to the Nedbank Cup, and to the league. Also in the Carling Cup, which will be coming, I think, on the 22nd. The draw will be done on the 22nd. For me, it's always about that. Just play the young boys when it comes to this small competition, even though we want to win that, because I don't think MTN 8 in the Carling knockout is recognized by FIFA, because even if you win it, it doesn't guarantee you anything in terms of intercontinental football or anything other than that. Yeah, man. Where do we begin? Let's start with the bad news before we go to the good news. The first bad news is that I don't know whether it's good or bad. You know what? Let me put this one in the middle, because it's about fans, man. There's a new message going on around Mamelodi Sundowns fans that Fleming Berg must go. Look, I'm not a big fan of Fleming Berg. Ever since that guy came to Mamelodi Sundowns, we have won nothing but the league, and we were winning the league even before he came in. I hate these choices of players. I don't want to lie. I hate these choices of players. I don't know whether he doesn't understand Mamelodi Sundowns style of play, or he's just like the coaches is bringing in. Look, who's this guy? Katoso is his choice. Whether we like it or not, Mangoba Mngqiti was not his choice. Mangoba Mngqiti, I think it was the chairman's choice, in this case. I think he's the one who said, let's try with Mangoba Mngqiti. That's why they were so quick to fire him, because the sporting director, in this case being Fleming Berg, never wanted the guy. He always wanted someone from Europe, because he is also from Europe. I think he undermines majority of African football coaches, and he undermines even the players, because I think he's one of the people who are always looking at signing these players from South America. If you're looking currently now, there are two players we are looking to sign. Okay, we have already signed one. I think it's Ntsiki. I don't want to butcher the guy's name. Ntsiki Tsabeleng. And then you also have the one from South America that we are looking to sign. Okay, he's from Brazil. He's playing for a club in Portugal, but he's on loan in Brazil, in his home country. So the likes to the man, I think Leonardo Cardoso, yeah, that's his name, Leonardo Cardoso. So if you're looking at these two players, I think Leonardo Cardoso is Fleming Berg's choice, and Ntsiki Tsabeleng is apparently Trotmuleto's choice. I think Trotmuleto also has some sort of influence into who comes in and who goes out. And then you have the guy, which is Fleming Berg, being the sporting director. I think he has more influence in who comes in, and I think it's him who's looking more to these Brazilian players, because I think he sees a certain style Mamelodi Sundowns should play in order to win these big leagues. Look, as long as he has been here, we haven't won anything big either than the league. I don't want to lie. So I think this is the reason why majority of the fans now are starting to get irritated by his choices. That's why there's this now that is called that he must go. Look, a few seasons back, we were knocked out in the MTN 8. We have only won the MTN 8 4 times in our entire history. Fans have never been angry. They have never been angry, but fans are angry. So I don't think this anger is directly directed at Cardoso. I think it's an indirect to Fleming Berg. People don't want Fleming Berg, and all these choices are not wanted. Me personally, look, I don't have an issue with Cardoso. I don't have an issue with Fleming Berg. I don't like Fleming Berg as a person. I don't like him as a sporting director. I don't like him as a person, because I also feel like he's changing our style of play. Look, I'm not saying bring back Roland. I'm not saying Fleming Berg must bring back Roland. All I'm saying is that find someone who can play our style, of play, and bring in the players that can play our style of play. You're not going to find our style of play from Brazilian players. I don't want to lie, or from South American players, or from your North African players. Your sub-Saharan African players can play our style of play. Your Azizi, your Mazizi, all of these players from Angola, Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, even here in South Africa, that's where you find our style of play of football. Your shoe shine Pian. Also look for someone who can coach that style of play. The current, I think, is Marumo Kalan's coach. I'm not sure if he's still there. Dan Malesela. He's a good coach. He knows our style of play. He knows how to build from the back. He knows how to play ball position. He knows, like, I think in the coaches which remain in South Africa, I think is one of the coaches that can play our style of play. I think he can. Like, without any doubt. Even the guy who was just at Chippa United, I know they've released him. I don't know what's going on at Chippa United. It's just Miss Masala. I don't know what's going on. I've just saw on the news that there might be a possibility that they've restructured the entire coaching department. Even that guy, he knows our style of play of football. Getting guys like that, maybe get Dan and then make that guy and Steve Compella the assistant coaches, because Dan can play our style of football. Then we are good to go. Because Cardoso is introducing the European style of play, and I did not even notice the Mamelodi Sundowns I used to notice anymore. Yeah, so I think that's the reason why majority of the fans are striking. I think they want Fleming Berg gone, and then more or less when Fleming Berg goes, it's more or less who's this guy? Cardoso will follow, and I think majority of these Brazilian players will also go. Not Brazil per se, like let me say the entire South American will also follow suit. Yeah, we move on from that, and then we go to Mudau. Oh, Mudau. A few days ago, it was released on the media that Mudau is back in training. We were all happy. It turns out that Mudau is not really back. He is training, but Mudau is still solving his issues, and we all know what his issue is. It's the salary. He feels like he's not earning enough, and I think he only came back to training to be fit for AFCON. So I think he's going to train until the squad announcement is made for AFCON, and then he's going to go. I think that's the reason why he's training. I think that's why Hugo Bros came in and spoke to Cardoso. I think he asked for him to train even though he's not going to play, because they want him to be fit for the AFCON. Let's just read a little bit of a piece which was posted by Jose on social media. Update on Sailor Mudau. Mudau Khuliso is still not available to play. Khuliso is solving all his issues with the club. He's training fantastic, says coach Mikel Cardoso. We are absolutely sure that pretty soon he's going to be able to help. He's willing to help, and people in charge of the club will take it with the right responsibilities, with the right commitment, and with the right intention to put Mudau on the service of the team. There were a few issues that most of them are already solved, so the expectation is that pretty soon he can help. Look, I think he's just trying to spin the entire thing, because if it's only about salary, you can't say some issues have been solved and they're still solving some other issues. I think the major issue here was the salary. I feel like because he knows the age is catching up with him now, he wants to cash in. I think he wants to cash in. I think he's looking for like a big, huge salary now. I think he wants a good wage increment on his new contract. So I think that's still the issue. And I think on the years, maybe Mamelodi Sundowns can say, look, you're 30, Sailor, we're going to give you the salary you want, but on a 1-year contract. And then they start to freeze him, then they start looking for what? Then they start looking for a replacement. And then the more he gets on the bench, the less his value is going to be. And those North African clubs, which he knows can pay well, they're not going to be willing to pay that much, because they're going to have a feeling like, look, this guy has been on the bench, he's not match fit anymore, or match sharpness is downgrading or whatsoever. So I think he wants a long-term contract and with a higher increment. So I think that's the issue. Maybe they are giving the salary, but it's the duration of the contract. Or maybe the duration of the contract as well, it's just that the salary. But knowing Fleming, he comes from Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club had a policy that every player past the age of 30 will only get a 1-year contract with an option of 1-year extension. I think Fleming Berg is trying to introduce that at Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think players are going to try and protest against that policy, because look, as a player, you're well aware, once you reach your 30s, your legs anytime are going to give in. And once your legs give in, you're not going to get the same amount of money that you used to cash in. And at that age, you feel like, look, I should cash in as much as I can now at the moment, so that by the time I reach 35, 36, also look at the case of Umshishi, you want to be secured, you want to have a security, you want that long-term contract, so that when it's time to, when it ends, you know that at least you have something on the back to maintain you until you get something. Maybe you become an ambassador of a club, or maybe you become a sport analyst, or whatsoever it is, but you want something on your bank. So I think that's the issue about Mudau. Mudau is looking to cash in because he knows the age is no longer on his side. His legs, anytime they might give up, so you can't blame the guy. But now we have this issue of Thapelo Morena and Zukom Tunyela. Zukom Tunyela is doing good in his absence. And I think he also sees that he is doing good in Zukom Tunyela. And even Thapelo Morena, if you watch the game against Makesu, he did well. And against Stellenbosch, he did well. So by the time he comes back, there might be an issue that he might not even be on a starting 11 anymore. Which is, I feel like it's bound to happen if you look at the performance of Thapelo Morena and Zukom Tunyela. I had some people also saying, look, it's becoming a norm now not to play with him. It's becoming norm now not to miss him. Imagine that. It's only been how many? 5 games, 6 games that he's not been there. And people are starting to say, look, he is replaceable, this guy, with Thapelo Morena and Zukom Tunyela. And Mamelodi Sundowns have the funds. We might go and look for someone else. Look how many clubs there are in Africa, how many clubs there are in South Africa, and how many right backs are good enough to replace you, because he is one of the best in Africa. I don't want to lie, but the moment you lose your match fitness, the moment you get older, there are younger players who are going to replace you. So Mudau better be careful. This is not like a threat or whatsoever to him. It's just the reality of the game. And if you had Coach Cardoso on the press conference, he stated himself also that we do have other right backs on the bench that are looking to fill in. And Thapelo Morena, we all know, is a versatile player. He doesn't necessarily play right back. He can play left wing. He can play right wing. He can play attacking as striker. He's a versatile player. So if we need him at right back, he fills in very well. Like in these past 2 games, he filled in very well. Yeah, so that's the thing I just wanted to just touch on Mudau. Mudau must be careful. Yes, and you can't blame the guy. He is old. He wants to be secured. He wants security after his football career is finished, and he is old. And football is a very short career. So you must get paid as much as you can before you retire. And then we also touch in on Zwane. Look, the issue about Zwane, it's sad. It's sad. We will just touch on a few things which are said by the coach on the press conference. Look, first from Usokala Tumo, the coach said, let's see what happened. As I understand from the doctors, it's not the same thing he had before. Let's hope it's nothing serious. Like, me too, I hope it's nothing serious. As I said yesterday on that review of Mamelodi Sundowns, this is my KC video. He didn't touch his groin. The game against Pirates, he had touched his groin. This time he didn't touch his groin. The only thing I realized is that I feel like he twisted his kneecap, because when he stood up, he was niggling and he didn't press hard with his right leg. So I think it twisted his kneecap. So a kneecap is not that much. You can just bandage it, put in a kneecap holder, and then you're good to go. Maybe it will be a week or 2 weeks. Let's just hope so. But here's the thing. Zwane is old. That's not the issue that he's having these injuries. Not because he's old. Zwane is old. We need Zwane just to keep fit for 9 months. For the AFCON and for the World Cup. What Mamelodi Sundowns should do. Look, we have Usilas, which can play as a 10, but he's not a 10. But he can play as a 10, but he's not a 10. And also this new player that we have signed from America, Unsiki Tsabeleng, can also play as a pivot, and he can also play as a 10. But again, he is not a natural number 10. What does this mean? I think it will be in the best interest of Mamelodi Sundowns to go and look for a number 10. The transfer window ends on the 22nd. We still have a week. I feel like we should go and look for that number 10. That's the best advice I can give to Mamelodi Sundowns, because from everything which Mikel Cardoso said on the press conference, that Mamelodi Sundowns coach Mikel Cardoso is optimistic that midfielder Themba Zwane will recover from his recent injuries. Yes, but when he recovers, he will be our only number 10. We are forced to play him quickly again, like we did against Marquez, which will then renew the injury. We have to give the guy a break. We have to have another number 10. Yes, I know we depend on him, but let's give him time to recover fully and be fully fit to play. And then we start playing him a bit. Yes, we played him I think there were 20 minutes left when he put it in. It turns out it was not. We should have tried 5 minutes first, then 10 minutes. You see, so that's why I'm saying we must get a 10, because we know teams against us will play a low block. Every coach enforces that style of play when they're playing against us. Look, Mamelodi said, let's let them have the ball. Let's just play a low block, and then you find that we cannot create options. That's why we are forced to bring in this guy Themba Zwane, because the players we use as number 10, Jaden Adams, he cannot play as a number 10. He's a pivot also. Just like the thing with Siget Sabalele, I think is also the type of player of Jaden Adams, who's a box to box. Playing him as a number 10, I don't think it's gonna work. Same as Usales. Sales is a right winger. He's also not a number 10. It's very hard to find a number 10. Number 10 is a very special position. Not any player can play it. That's the problem about it. So that's why I'm saying let's look for a natural number 10. This guy from Brazil, I think he is a natural number 10, but we had that with Ribeiro, and look how it turned out. Ribeiro, suddenly every club wanted him, and then he started having an attitude. Where is he now? He has released himself, something I've never seen in my entire life. A player releasing himself from a contract which is obligated to fulfill. I don't know. We will still hear about it. This is another article from Witness, Sowetan Live, I meant. With fitness issues seeming to be haunting Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder Themba Zwane following another injury setback, Coach Mikel Cardoso feels he will fully recover from this one. So I think it's not that big. It's not that big. Let's just hope so. But I still emphasize the fact that let's get another number 10, so that this guy Themba Zwane can recover fully. You don't want Themba Zwane to be on the bench when you play the likes of Pyramids, the likes of Widad, the likes of Tunis, because those guys, they can play low block. They can play low block better than anyone else. So you need someone like Umshishi who can turn tables. You need someone who can spot that pass. You need someone who can spot that run. You need a natural number 10, not someone who's makeshift, like as Mikel Cardoso said about Sigit Sabeleng, a player who's a pivot but can make shift as a number 10, because he's not natural in that position. He won't miss that pass. He won't miss that run, because he's a box to box. He's not a regular number 10. Like if you go back to Jaden Adams, the types of games we played him as a number 10, you will notice the chances we created, there were not as many as we would when Zwane came in. Go and watch that game we played against Chipa. Jaden Adams started as a number 10, but when Mshishi came in, we created more chances in 35 minutes than the 65 minutes which Jaden Adams had played. So that's the issue we have. So I hope we do in this week we do go and get a number 10. And then you will focus on Shalolile. And look, guys, this is not gonna be long. Some people are questioning why Shalolile is not playing. Look, guys, we don't have one striker. I love Shalolile. Shalolile is one of the best strikers Mamelodi Sundowns has ever had. I love Shalolile. He's a goal poacher. He's a goal scorer. But guys, Ikram Reyners, when given the chance, he scores. So what are you expecting? What are you expecting Mikel Cardoso to do? Are we expecting Mikel Cardoso to play a diamond 4 with 2 strikers? We all know Mikel Cardoso, he likes wings. Tashreq Matthews and Sales. Even though he's going to play a double 8 with Themba Zwane and Ayand, like he did in some games, and Mukwena is a pivot. He likes Tashreq Matthews. There is no way he's not going to play Tashreq Matthews. Therefore, what are you saying? Are you trying to say that he must sacrifice Ikram Reyners? Ikram Reyners is scoring goals when given the opportunity. So is Shalolile. And Tashreq Matthews does give Cardoso what he wants on the wings, same as Silas. So that's the issue we have. Let's just give the coach in this instances of the striker. Let's just give him time to to implement his ideas when it comes to Ikram Reyners. Because when it comes to the AFCON, I want Ikram Reyners to to be there within the squad with the national team in December. Shalulile is not a South African, and I'm not being xenophobic, but Shalulile is not a South African. If I had to choose between Ikram Reyners and Shalulile, I would choose Ikram Reyners as much as I love Shalulile. If you have watched my podcast from the beginning, you will know I'm one of Shalulile's biggest fans. If he had a cult, I'll be in that cult. But because of the issue of the AFCON and the issue of the World Cup, I'll prefer Ikram Reyners to start. I'll prefer Ikram Reyners to play. If we didn't have this issue of Tashrik Matthews, if we were not playing wings, and then I would be happy if we played Ikram Reyners and Shalulile, and then we have a number 10, Zwane, or we go and buy a number 10, or if Ribeiro was still there, and then have him play there behind those two strikers at the number 10, and then we have those box-to-box, those double eights. I would be happy if we had that, but it's not our system of play according to Cardoso. Cardoso is playing his system of style of play, which has wings. So that's the issue. So there's nothing we can do about that. Yeah, guys, man. I wish I could speak more, but I don't want to have such a long podcast that it starts getting boring. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button to be notified once a new video has been uploaded. Tomorrow, late night around this time, I'll upload I think about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'll upload the preview for the game. Who are we playing? I think Richards Bay or Makiashi. Who are we playing tomorrow? Let me just have a look. I keep on forgetting, guys. There's a lot on my mind. Let me just check who are we playing tomorrow. We are playing Marumo Kalans, which we just played a few days ago. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yeah, we are playing Marumo Kalans, and we are number 1 in the league obviously with 1 game ahead of everyone else. Kaizer Chiefs is playing Sukukuna tomorrow. That's a game to watch. I hope it ends as a draw. But I don't care. At the end of the day, we're going to win the league. Whether one wins, whether one loses. Because I don't think they can keep the consistency of Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah, guys. That's it for the game. That's it for the day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button to be notified once a new video has been uploaded. See you.